We thought she was fake. Bro, I'm not a schizo, I'm just fat. Okay? Like, I'm not ill, I'm just fat.
Livid.
Badge. Yeah, Mochi's great. Mochi's a nice little dude. What is better, eating a decent amount of food and gain weight like a normal person, or consuming every meal like it's your last, but remain skinny? I would say remain skinny. Being overweight is worse than being slightly under... Is that... If you're underweight, is that worse than being overweight? Probably, right? Probably. Correct? But both are bad, obviously. Yeah, they're both bad. They're both not good. I guess it's easier to gain weight than to lose weight. Or am I coping? You just sit here and eat all the shit food you want and you're fat. To gain weight, I mean... To lose weight? Effort. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Yeah, for sure. Eating less, I mean, I eat 2 times a day. Is that good? I eat 2 times a day. It's probably not good. $20 years, same weight. I think I'm like 220, 230, 6 foot, 230. Something like that. Like, I want to lose weight, don't get me wrong. And the only person who can allow me to lose weight is myself. Like, I need to go out and do things. You should ask a dietitian. You should ask a dietitian. You should ask a dietitian and not League chat. League Twitch chat. I mean, they're just questions. I'm not going to sit here and be like, guys, I have a heart disease. What do I do? And, you know, I just follow what Twitch chat says. A dietitian. I'm 290. Yeah, you're a chunky dude. Chunky boy. Okay, is Jeff Goldblum 6'4"? When I woke up this morning, I had the Body Snatchers movie on, and he said he was 6'4". Is that true? Somebody look up Jeff Goldblum height. Is he fucking 6'4"? Is that guy Ivern IRL? You don't know Jeff Goldblum? The fucking Jurassic Park, The Fly... Body Snatchers, I suppose. He was in Marvel, like a fucking Marvel movie. A few other ones. Is he really 6'4"? Oh my god. Holy shit. 6'3", 4"? That's a tall motherfucker. He always had this, like, very interesting way of speaking. I don't know if that's normally what he does. You know how Trump, like, China, with Trump? Like, certain people speak a certain way that you can kind of recognize. Jeff Goldblum always, like, what if I do this and I gotta do that? What are you talking about? I don't know if that was like a movie thing or that's how he actually speaks. But in most of his movies, that's literally what he just sounds like. So I'm assuming that's him. It's a very recognizable, like, just way to speak, I suppose. Hope everyone's doing well. Yes, we're good, we're good. We're Bing chilling. We gotta get food soon. The last time I ate was like 8 o'clock. The last time Ivana ate was probably last night. And it's like almost 6 p.m. So we gotta go eat soon. He inserts O's and O's between world. Yeah, he says a bunch of stuff. Yeah. But like, that's... In Hollywood, they love that. Right? What about Schwarzenegger? What about, you know, Arnie? Like, everything he says is like... Like, it's very recognizable. A lot of people who can speak a certain way and look a certain way, like, yeah, you know, they probably want them for movies. Stallone. That's implying you can even understand what Stallone says, right? Like, you had a better chance at understanding Arnold than Stallone at one point. Adrian! Not about you do. Yeah, The Expendables was sick. Yeah. I mean, of course, he's known for Rambo and Rocky, obviously, but, like, The Expendables were fun. That's a fun movie. Adrian! Steve Buscemi. Hey guys, hey. What do you mean? Or fucking Willem Dafoe also kind of speaks. I had a movie on while I was doing a bunch of stuff. It was I forgot what it was called, but it's about people becoming vampires and it becoming a vampire society, but then the humans are kind of like the ones that are being hunted to be farmed for blood. Steve Buscemi, I don't know, Steve Bush. It wasn't Blade, no. Daybreakers, yeah. You know what I found to be better? Okay. For the beginning of October, I ended up canceling Disney Plus. Disney Plus, I was on it recently, and I'm like, you know what? They actually have a lot of good content. Disney Plus, as heinous as it is to do anything with Disney Plus is not garbage. The service is garbage. Like, they got a few decent movies. And, so I canceled Disney Plus, and I ended up getting Shudder. And as much as I love scary movies and shit like that, Shudder is kind of a niche thing. Like, I don't know if you have Shudder or have heard of Shudder. It's like the premier big scary movie, you know, international horror movie, like, streaming service. But it's kind of niche. They don't have a lot of big titles. And I was looking for things more recognizable, I suppose, things that I've seen in the past. And you can't really... I just got cancer. You can't really, it's a very niche platform. Yep, Shudder is really niche. It's international horror. It's a lot of, like, indie directors and all this other stuff. It's not bad content, but if you're looking for more of, like, the mainstays in horror, you won't find it on Shudder. No, I haven't seen The Penguin. Yeah, it's all indie, weird, yeah. Like, you know what I found to be good? Prime Video. Crazily enough, when you pay for Prime, you get Prime Video, and it is quite nice. Like, it's not bad at all. You'd think, oh, Prime Video's probably got a bunch of trash, knowing that, like, you typically get it for, like, one-day shipping, you know? No, Prime has a lot of decent stuff. No, I got some decent things. You can also rent new movies if you want, if that's how you do it. I rented a movie for $7 Canadian. 7. I watched the new Hellboy. Hellboy the Crooked Man. And, I think everyone was giving it a 4 out of 10. I would say it's like a 5 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't really... It's not even close to Del Toro's films in the slightest. But it's kind of... It's endearing. Like, I like Hellboy, the actor. The acting is fine, but the story is just kind of lackluster. And it's like bargain bin Walmart CG. It opens up with a big train scene, and if you... I'm just telling you right now, if you watch it, yeah, the CG is rough. It's a little rough. But, like, for $7, I would say if you're a Hellboy fan, why not? For $7, I would watch it. I don't think by the end of it you'd be satisfied. The ending was dog shit. Probably the worst part of the film was the ending. But it was okay. Like 5 out of 10. It was by no means a big budget film. In Europe, it went to theaters. In Europe, it was in theaters. North America, straight to streaming. Straight to streaming. No chance of any like any big moneyed release. Like you're not going anywhere. Like any big theater, nope. Some small theater downtown, maybe if you're lucky. But
get on it.
Peace and love.
You're doing it, Dane. Thank you, sir. It's not that they need to be god-tier good, but they need to be enjoyable. That's why I'm saying, like, Hellboy the Crooked Man, I don't think was a god-awful movie. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't amazing. You know what I mean? Well, this was more in line with, like, I've never read the comics, but apparently the Hellboy in The Crooked Man is more so the comic book version of Hellboy. I mean, half the movie he's sitting there eating his cigarettes after he's done smoking them, so I don't know if that's canon or not, but he, it felt a little bit more, it was still like a, it's got the Perlman vibe, but different. I think if you watch it and have seen the other movies, like the Del Toro films with Perlman, they're not comparable. They're completely different, for sure. But, you know, movies are movies, right? I like movies. I like sitting down and leaving Earth mentally, because Earth fucking sucks sometimes. Don't we all just want to get out of reality? Aren't we tired of waking up and doing the same fucking thing every goddamn day? The Joker was right! We are all going insane! Paper! Not even paper! Plastic pieces of colored... whatever the hell a bill is in Canada. Monopoly money decide our fate. People... they make the world miserable. There's war, famine, disease, League of Legends balance, League of Legends new characters. Everything is insane.
Or whatever the unicorn zoomers say these days. Watch Penguin on HBO Max.
I hear it's good.
Shit is absolutely fantastic. It's not BSDC doo-doo, it's actually gritty and real. No superheroes anyway. Just good old mafioso and crime. Colin Farrell is excellent.
See, you know what's interesting? Babylon, thank you. I'm sure it's a good film, or I'm sure it's a good series. I actually don't like fully grounded Batman. There is something to be said about the weird, fantastical bits of Gotham. You know? Like, how did Clayface become a thing, and Bane being, you know, jacked up on Venom? But there is no Batman. Well, that's what I'm saying. I kind of... so this is more... it's like the Andor of Star Wars, right? It's a lot more gritty, grounded, without the big, crazy things going on. Yeah, it's like a Mafia series. That's the point. I get that. But I still do miss a little bit of that fantastical, weird shit, you know, that you get in Gotham or anywhere else in, like, a comic book kind of line. I miss a bit of that. Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure I'd love it. I'm sure I would love it. You know what's weird is that I think it was Burton who directed those old Batman movies, but I kind of like those more than the Nolan films. And I know that sounds absolutely insane to say, but there's such different vibes. Like, the Nolan movies are not bad by any means. They're amazing. But it's too grounded. It's so incredibly grounded from something that's like, I mean, comics are typically a little crazy at times, you know? We're just dead, bro. Run. I don't know. Yeah, like the Burton films, they make you feel like you're in some weird Gotham. You know, Gotham, I don't want Gotham to just be like a city riddled with crime. I want it to be full of like fucked up villains and weird things going on. You know, that's to me, that's more so Gotham, I suppose. But like, it doesn't feel like you have elements of that in that Nolan set of Nolan films. Even if they're good. Even if they're good, you know, I still miss it. Yeah. Was it... What was... Okay, hang on. Who directed the one with fucking Mr. Freeze? Arnold as Mr. Freeze, and like DeVito as Penguin, and fucking what's his name as Two-Face? Schumacher? Was that him? Schumacher? Well, what the Burton one and him? I don't know. They both had like weird vibes about the film. That one was terrible. Penguin was... I don't know. There's something about him, dude. Again, they're just weird. Again, I like grounded stuff, but when you've got weird things going on, how can you make that grounded? Like, did anybody like the Christopher Nolan Bane compared to the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, like in the first film? Joker was great. Bane is just boring. He's just a guy who was strong and had like a breathing apparatus. He wasn't jacked up on drugs. There was nothing special about him. He was just whatever, right? Bane is, I guess in the movies he was intelligence, you know, like Bane is typically body and mind, right? Like he's huge on both, but his downside is that, you know, his addiction will kill him. The venom, going overboard to get what he wants with it, will kind of lead to his downfall. I don't know, man. I didn't like the way Bane was, but I did like the Joker, because the Joker still reminded me of, like, the comics. Well, Bane's a fine villain, but I don't know. Again, there was nothing special about Nolan's Bane. Nolan's Bane was just a grounded version of Bane, but he didn't feel special. He didn't feel like he went anywhere. I don't know. Shit. Well, he was. I mean, Bane was in the comics. First person to figure out the identity, broke the man's back, and then he became a jobber. But, you know, that's life. Yeah, I will... The Bane... I mean, they didn't do anything with Bane in... what do you call the fucking Schumacher, if that's how you pronounce his name. Or like the if he was, I don't know, man. The Burton film, was it Burton or Schumacher? I don't fucking know. But no, the Bane in that was trash for sure. No, he was bad. Bane was bad in that. They didn't. He was more of like your stereotypical like big muscly, you know, meat-headed guy. That's not Bane. That's not Bane. That's what Bane usually is devolved into, right? Because when you have so many Batman villains, some of which are actually smart, you know, then where is Bane? Bane is like brains and brawn. Well, we can't have that. Just make him brawn, but no brains. It's like, boring. You know, you want a little bit more nuance, right? Like, typically, normally in things, if you have muscles, you're an idiot. And if you don't have muscles, you're a smart guy, right? That's the typical, like, thing for movies and games and whatnot. Like, it's stupid as shit. But, yeah, I didn't like that Bane. Not at all. Well, I mean, it's just because, like, how can you have both? How can you be smart and big? Or big and smart? What if someone is dumb and weak? Well, who would be... Well, then... I mean... what is that, like a... Like Diglett? Who is dumb and weak? That's not a good combo. They did him dirty in those movies, but, like, they still got the vibe of Bane down, where he's this big fucking muscular freak at times, you know? Like, the dude was juiced out of his mind on Venom, right? Like, the vibe of Bane, I suppose, but, like, missing, like, the brains. What? Bro, does anybody die? Bro, why is Corky so broken? Who does that damn... It's like, what the fuck is that? What is that? I've got this. Poison Ivy's just Harley's girlfriend now. What do you do with Poison Ivy? I swear to God, anything Poison Ivy does, she's supposed to be this, like, seductress plant bitch. Like, what do you do with it? What is her gimmick? What is her specialty? What is she good at? What makes her stand out currently? Outside of, oh my God, seductive plant. She is green. Shrek is green. Corky, do your thing and insta-kill everyone, but you can't because they're not squishy. Is this guy still Meganar? What the fuck? Okay. What the heck? She could represent over-radical religious ideals. What? What? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know much of Batman anymore. I used to read the comics. Had a bunch of them. I've been out of Batman. I haven't read any comics in years, man. Years. Comics are cool. But they're, keeping up with them is hard. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I just found it hard to keep up with. What's her deal then? Fuck if... I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. I don't know. Comics, I don't think... I mean, well, you know what you'd get is... You get the omnibuses. You get the entire, like, line in one book, and then you can read all of it. It's a lot of art. It's a lot of art. It's a lot of, like, cool, nichey, you know, weird things. Oh my God, FF! I've got the AIDS! Run! Jesus. You know, we probably should have had someone TP. Look at this. Camille TP's here, she clears this. Well, I mean, see, that's the interesting thing about directors, is that you're gonna get a different version every time. Some people want to stick to their, you know, their guns and make it in their own style. Some people want to be experimental. Some people want to base it on this and that and this and that. Like,
I have several studio quality Star Wars helmets, Mando, Boba, Sabine, etc., hanging on my living room wall as decoration. Had an electrician over yesterday to do some work. We chatted for like an hour about some insanely cool merch he bought.
That's cool.
Hello man, love your streams. What do you think about the Avengers movies, in case you watched them?
Bro. Thank God. I've seen it. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I prefer DC. Marvel's not really my thing. Like, I loved Iron Man when it first came out. I've seen a bunch of them, but like, I find them a little bit too jokey for my liking. Like, some of them maybe not so much, obviously, but like, they're a little jokey. They're okay, I suppose. I'm not a big Marvel guy. If you grew up on the comics, you'll forever be a Marvel guy. If you grew up on the DC stuff, you'll forever be a DC guy. Like, I get that, but for me, I grew up on like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Warhammer, G.I. Joe, shit like that. You know, Indiana Jones, a bit of TMNT, stuff like that. Never really into a little bit of DC, I'd say, but not like to the degree of most people who grew up on that stuff compared to me. Several, you say studio quality. Are they customs? What are they? I thought you were going to say the guy knocked them all over and destroyed them. I'm like, yeah, they'll do that. Did this helmet take 2 years to make? And now it's destroyed on the floor? Oh yeah, gotcha. I mean, some people, yeah, there's guys who are into that shit and who will talk to you about stuff, you know? Not everyone, obviously. Some people will see that shit and they're like, okay, you know, you need to get laid, bro. Other people are like, oh my god, I haven't seen pussy in 80 years. I love this. Boba Fett should have died in the Sarlacc. What did they do to him? Are you going to play The Last Ronin? I grew up on the TMNT live-action movies. Not the cartoon, the movies. Those movies were, like, pseudo-cursed. That's cool. That's hey, I love Star Wars, bro. Send me some photos. Listen. Original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy. That's the way it should be. There's no in-between. That's what's best. Original, prequel, sequel. Okay. I don't know of any people. I can't name a single person who loves the sequel trilogy. Maybe watched it, but not loved it. Careful, Tobias. Disney might hear you. Disney is too busy sacrificing babies below, like, Mickey Mouse's fucking statue to appease, like, Satan. Not wrong. They're supposed to be coming out with a Rey movie, a second Rey movie. And then it got delayed or something. I don't know, bro. I'm not... I don't think every piece of Star Wars media we've gotten since the movies is complete and utter 0 out of 10 trash. I think they have decent things with them, but most of them are bad. Like, the Book of Boba Fett was bad, but had good things. The Acolyte was bad, but had a few good things. There was, like, episodes where you're like, oh, this show isn't bad, and then you get to the next episode, you're like, this shit sucks. I think they should stop. They're never going to stop, bro. They're never going to stop. Mandalorian, Season 1 and 2, excellent. Mandalorian, Season 3, straight Disney. That shit was balls. That was garbage. Straight Disney, Season 3. But, like... it's so, like, the Obi-Wan series sucked, but then it had good parts, right? It had a lot of good stuff, but it was still kind of overall icky. What? Okay. They're supposed to be... They'll never stop making Star Wars. It's one of Disney's biggest properties. Fucking at Disneyland, they have Galaxy's Edge. Like... Star Wars is forever, and I'm for it. Just make it good. Make it good, man. You thought The Mandalorian was cheeks? You're trolling. Mandalorian 1 and 2, both seasons, I think, were solid as fuck. Solid as fuck.
Hot take, Obi-Wan show was actually fantastic, but they were too soft with the story. Ain't no way the in-between time for Obi-Wan was like that.
You know why they're soft with the story? Because it's also marketed to kids. The kids are in mind every time they do Star Wars, unless it's Andor. The only people who made a show that had no children in mind was Andor. That's it.
I mean, if we are talking about good old school movies, I enjoyed very much LOTR, Pirates of Sea, and
they're not. Those aren't really old school.
I'm still rewatching them ever since,
They're
almost
great.
Annually.
I wouldn't say those are old school, but I'd say they're good. Those are all good. Yeah, good series for sure. Good set of movies. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. Do you think... Do you think new Star Wars ruins old Star Wars? In a way where, like, if you know what happens to Luke Skywalker, you can't go back and watch the original trilogy and say, oh man, that sucks. Luke is ruined. Yes, you think? I don't know. For me, it's like a weird... You can ignore it. Yeah, it's still canon, though. No matter how you do different things, it still is canon. No matter how you look at it, like... You could have ended Star Wars after Jedi. Like, Return of the Jedi could literally be the end of Star Wars. Darth Vader died. You know, the Death Stars are gone. Peace in the galaxy's been restored. Just not by the Empire. You could finish it on that, for sure. But, like... everyone's indifferent, right? Because they also have, like, the comic tie-ins. They have the old school... Legends stuff that no longer is canon because Disney's doing their own thing. And I firmly believe, as crazy as it sounds, I've read some of the Legends stuff, but, like, I don't think if Disney wanted to keep producing content, you could keep Legends. The continuity, like, working in all of those books to be canon and then produce new things, like, I don't think that was ever going to happen.
Love when you play pork.
Dave, thank you, buddy. Rings of Power is hot garbage. I love... I'm not going to say I love the Rings of Power. Wow, bro. What I like about the Rings of Power is the dwarves, the music, and just seeing Middle-earth, I suppose, again. I like seeing fantasy worlds come to life. And no matter what you say, I don't give a fuck about your opinion, because my opinion is the right opinion. The Rings of Power looks like money. The money that went into Rings of Power, you can actually see it on screen, versus having seen every Star Wars show that is worth millions, so much money, I can't see where any of the money went in Star Wars, but I can see where it went in Rings of Power. I don't know. It looks like money. It sounds like money. But the story, I know, isn't good. And this and that isn't good. I get it. I get it. The costuming isn't my favorite. The costuming isn't my favorite in Rings of Power, but, like, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I think it still looks like money. Like, yeah, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, oh my god, everything looks incredible, super iconic. You can look at it and be like, I know where that's from. Rings of Power, a little bit different, but, like, you can still see, I guess you could say, the passion that went into creating visually the world. So, I don't know. I like the art of things. I like the creation and the vibe and just the art of something a lot. Rings of Power had amazing music, like not, you know, Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings stuff potentially, but like it was up there. It was good. I'm not like a pure hater. You know, it's not like the Rings of Power is Yon. Like, the Rings of Power is, like, Fizz. You know? I hate a lot of it, sure. But, like, at the end of the day, it's Fizz. He's kind of worthless in lane, you know? He's not 0 out of 10 enjoyability. You could beat his ass. I like The Hobbit. I don't know, I got dwarves. I feel like The Hobbit went on too long, personally, but, like, Battle of the Five Armies, right outside Erebor, extended edition. I don't know if you've seen that. That is bonkers. That's good. It is, dude, it's so cool.
Hello, Captain.
Bro, what are we... I love seeing the dwarves, no matter what. Teru, thank you, buddy. Yeah, see, as bad as the Acolyte was, and I mean, like, it was really a shit show with a few bright spots, I'm still gonna watch the Skeleton Crew. I still am. I'm just... I give things a chance. I don't just completely give up because, you know, oh, it had a few bad episodes. Like, yeah, I'll watch it through to be able to talk about it, or at least say, oh, I've seen it, you know, it was okay. Like, I'm still gonna watch Skeleton Crew. I'm waiting on Andor. House of the Dragon, haven't seen it. I saw Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is, that's a good series until, like, the final few. I think, like, 2 seasons. Breaking Bad. Press 1 if you've seen Breaking Bad. Press 2 if you haven't. Press 1 if you've seen Breaking Bad. 2 if you have not. What? I see 2. Guys, if you have a chance to watch Breaking Bad, do it. It is... You say not my thing. I said the same thing. Oh my god, it's so good. It is so... Breaking Bad is so good. It is so good, bro. It gets fucking crazy. No, it gets fucking crazy. And then you watch Better Call Saul, or was it? It was Better Call Saul, right? Yeah. No. It's goated. It is. I agree. It's goated. Like, holy shit. The deaths in those shows, things that, like, it's tense. It's so intense. Exactly. I used to say when me and Ivana were watching Breaking Bad, we'd always put one episode on and have dinner. I would be like, can we just keep watching it? Can we just keep watching it? Like, let's watch 3 episodes. She's like, no. Oh, it's so good. As someone who said I wouldn't like it and I'm not interested because you look at it and you're like, oh, this doesn't look like it's for me, I'm telling you, it will be for you. How is he alive? I started My Hero Academia. I won't devolve that far. I won't go down that far. The only anime series I've watched in full because of my girlfriend was Full Metal Alchemist. And I liked it. I know. Don't fucking recommend me animes. I don't want to fucking hear about it. I don't want to hear about your tittied up snake waifus and your dog shit fucking super Gokus. I don't give a fuck. That is the only one I've seen. And I actually thought it was pretty good. I don't want to hear about your recommendations. Every time you talk about anime, these greasy, sweat-dripping, fucking cum jar having anime titty figure loving fucking like weebs. They crawl out of your floorboards and they you gotta watch this.
Here's a recommendation: don't fucking watch shit anime.
I just don't care about it, man. I'm sure I would like Berserk. I'm sure Berserk would be great, but like I'm not gonna be into it. Anytime, seriously though, whenever you talk, it's like when you talk about Warhammer, all the same people pop out of the woodwork, right? I guess when it comes to anime and Warhammer, the fandoms are so engrossed with it that, like, it is a part of their life. It is so much more than just a show to them. Right? Does that make sense? Like, yeah, I love Warhammer. I'll talk about fantasy and shit like that. Like, that's a big part of what I'm into, but I don't go around preaching the good word of dwarves, you know?
When I say shit anime, I just mean anime. My bad for being unclear.
Okay, I see. Yeah, they tried to do Star Wars anime at one point. It's a pile of shit. They tried to do a bunch of, like, just weird things. Really weird things.
You've worked